Hello and welcome back to our show. The camera has actually moved a little bit.
Never mind.
Never mind. Fine.
You got another head down the bottom?
I do have another head. I pass him now and again, but he doesn't like it much. He's like all the way down here. It's really hard for him to reach him. So,
big his nose.
yeah, I tried that, but his nose over on the screen, it was really hard. Yeah, so today we've got these little RF modules. It's actually ones people talk about quite a lot online, although not for positive reasons, as we found out.
Yeah.
We picked them up cheap, and now we know why we picked them up cheap. They are pretty rubbish, yeah. The range on them is like a centimetre, if that, which you'll see in a minute. Also,
but that might be down to
external
shit.
Yeah.
We're going to that in a minute.
We will be going to that in a minute, yeah. So, basically it just sends signals over radio frequencies so you can try and link Arduinos together. We've done a little basic bit which is just turning a light on one, which you then see in the other. There's a slide delay thing, it's not too bad. But
yeah. And we're going from the Uno to the Mega.
To the Mega, yeah.
I did the transmit,
I've done the receiver. Well, actually this time the Uno's the main one.
Yeah.
The Mega actually has less code.
Yeah.
It's going to be a first and probably a last. So,
well, should we show them? Let's show them what it is. Come a bit closer up for you guys. We'll just move up to the top there. And wait for this to really sink it up. Right, come on. I did say this is free. Right, there you go.
Yeah.
So, what you got? We have the diagram that you can see in the bottom right is
basically the same.
Basically, we've done what I've for the. Because having a lot of trouble, weren't we? Trying to get to communicate. We weren't sure what's going on. So all I've done is I've tied an LED, a nice bright yellow LED, onto the data pin of my transmitter.
Yeah.
So every time it transmits high, you'd get the LED coming on, and when it transmits low, the LED goes back off. And
on the other side here, on my part, we had the Mega, which has the onboard light on pin 13, which will flash. It's supposed to be.
Really, we should have put another LED there, and
yeah, we could have just make sure the date is not an issue with this. I mean, nice quick thing to do.
I mean, on theirs, on the original bit of code we had a look at, it was using pin 13, and for some reason it wasn't actually flashing. Our
LED wasn't flashing, so you know when you're sort of there trying to make sure you've got it connected, this flashes away if you get your hand too close to it. That just didn't do anything, and we were just like, right, so what's actually going on?
And even found the wires are picking us up.
Yeah, I made a proximity sensor. If I take...
Do you want to switch back?
Yeah, if I was to take the green cable out, I can actually just touch it and make the light turn on, which is quite cool. But, yeah, they're not the best things in the world.
As you saw on the image, they're very close together.
They are very close.
We did look at some other code, which... hopefully you'll provide a link to.
I will provide a link to that, yeah. Everything goes in the description as always.
I mean, again, we've just got bits of paper, the actual code, because when it goes up on our screen up here, we can't read it.
But,
even with your eyes, with the extra lenses, you still don't see it.
But this discrepancy I was talking about earlier, which you can tell using FreeSync because all the lines are like perfectly straight. And so, but just 3 wires on each. The only thing that does seem quite odd, we haven't actually found the use yet, is on the receiver, which is the one on the right, which the image is upside down on, for the actual module, which confused the hell out of me when I was trying to wire it up. Luckily, it is actually printed on the back of the board. But there's actually 2 data pins, and the transmitter has 1, and we've switched between the data pins quite a bit, and we can't see any difference. So whatever that's for, if someone does know, it'd be quite nice to know ourselves.
Use the other one for just running the LED.
So we can use another one to just go, oh look, it's exactly the same result still.
Yeah,
rubbish.
That's roughly the diagram we use.
It is basically.
Obviously mine is different because I've got the resistor on there, an LED, section lines going in for the data, so I can take a copy of the data that's coming out.
Mine's different because I'm not using an Uno.
Yeah.
That's the only difference when mine comes in. So, start dissecting the code, I suppose. code for this is very small. If we go to the receiver first, almost thought I'd forgotten to put the code up a minute then. Right, so you got the first which is the defines, ignore them, but put them on obviously, but we don't really need to explain them.
Yeah, but that's only saying what pins
are what, yeah. So your next bit,
and the LED pin, which is the one that's you see flashing,
yeah,
on
the Mega. So if you look at the first block, which we've got a little yellow box around, on our piece of paper we have, I don't know if I'll be able to put it into focus, we have just like little black bits and one yellow block, same where the last one was. So what we have is we have an unsigned integer, which unsigned means that you didn't sign for and you got your first class post. Right now.
You don't know what signed and unsigned is?
Oh, inters.
Yeah, inters. Yeah. Unsigned and signed. It's to do with if you're going to be using negative numbers.
Yes.
Because if you think about it one way, it's naught upwards. Normally we work with naught upwards. We work in the positive field. But you want to use less than. You know, you've got like 0 to 255.
Yeah.
But you actually get minus 127 to 127.
Yeah.
So you're going to.
You get it both ways. This
if it's signed, obviously, then
if it's
i.e.
positive, negative. Unsigned means you get a full range. But it doesn't care if it's positive or negative. I did know that. I was wanting to make a joke.
Yeah, but it doesn't actually. This will only read positive if you.
Yeah. You give it like minus 12 and it will give you 12. It doesn't really give a anymore. So next little bits you basically just setting up all of the.
Is it next on the image or is it just next on what you?
It's the next on in that little block. We have our little we have the next two, which is just creating some constants, which are just there are upper threshold, lower threshold. They're the range of the data is picking up you should be able to receive. Which in this case we had to do it for like 399 in between. Although it's actually above 400, so it's an.
Basically what you're doing, you set an upper and lower limit. If it's under this side, then it must be a 0. If it's over that, it must be a 1.
That way you can determine whether you're sending a high or a low. Because it doesn't seem to make a lot of sense, the way that you have to send a high or a low, be it all receive in a number form. So
yeah, but that's because
how I work.
It's just going through a radio signal, isn't it?
Yeah, so it's a frequency.
Interference and gubbins.
So
the tighter the threshold, the less garbage you get.
Yeah, unfortunately we can do that because we tried that, and it doesn't help when you're sitting there and you have two phones on your desk next to the thing you're trying to tune. Right, so move on to the next little
block.
block.
We have found one quick thing we did find that people have used, and we're going to go at a later stage.
Wire antennas.
Put wire antennas on so you can give them a better range.
Yeah, actually, if we just
and then you should hopefully be able to. I've had a message.
You have had a message.
But you should be able to get a longer range.
There you go. So none of you can quite.
Lovely and bright.
They are lovely and bright. Don't even quite see it because of the blinding lights. Let's cover that for a minute. You should see just down here on this one. You have one just around here. There are these little coils on there. Don't know why you can see them, but basically all it is you solder or solder if you're one of them. You solder on. The wire.
Touch, you might kill the signal.
Yeah. Yeah, you.
In actual fact, you did.
I did. That's what we're saying about being so
you've got to be so close.
I mean,
for it to pick up.
It's picking off like AB. There you go. That's back. So yeah, the little coils in there, which actually is basically the antennas, and you're just putting a longer antenna on to give it a better range. And so if you have localised interference,
when we do revisit this, then what we might do is extend. We're going to try these ones again.
No.
We extend them out away from the board as well, because obviously you've got the strips of copper inside as well.
Yeah, electrical interference.
So we extend them out, make a little box, put them up a bit higher off, so that they're further away and keep further away from the circuit, and we see what happens.
Yeah. Right. So back to dissecting of the code. This section, nice and easy. It's the first time I believe we've ever told you about pin mode, because we've done I2C stuff recently.
Oh, that's good too. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I'm saying that I wrote it in the tips when I was in the tips. All right. So pin mode basically you're just saying whether something's an input or an output. straightforward, just like that. It's just, if it's an input, if it's basically on digital pins, it has no input output. Analog pins, you generally only do inputs, don't you, I believe.
No,
but you can output from them, but you just don't tell it. It works out by itself, it's clever. But yeah, so on digital one, just tell it's input or an output. And then we just begun the serial. And in this last block, which...
Now the reason for the serial, better tell people what the serials are, because the only reason we used the serial is we were trying to check what the data
we
received was. Also I did change the, which one we get to when I get to this now, did change the code around quite heavily on the transmit.
Yeah.
But also, so I could see what it was chucking out.
Yeah. So I've got the reads the analog right there, but yeah, the serial was basically just because we were trying to fine tune it, and if you're trying to fine tune just seeing when lights blink and you have loads of interference, they were going on and off all the blinking time. So the only way we could do it, we had to bring up serial bits, then I could try and fine tune it by saying, right, the other values that are coming through are this. If I move it up to here, we can get a bit closer.
I mean, to give a perfect example, if the lowest value you ever received was say 50, you would set the lower limit
about 45.
Yeah, around that area.
Yeah.
So if it dropped down towards that, then yes, it would be a 0. But if it was 100, say, then it would still be within range of.
Yeah. So next we've got we've got the analog read there, which just goes from that pin, just finds the value it's received. Next we have an if statement. This is just asking if the data was greater than the upper threshold, therefore being if it was above, it must be a high signal way of sending out. So that just turns the LED high. Originally the code we looked at, we got most of this from the example, which we've tweaked a few bits. I created a little buffer there. The right was actually set to low when you got a high and high when you got a low, so your LED was working in reverse. So we sorted that, we corrected that. I don't know if they meant to do that, but that was something we did notice. And look, ours is working perfectly. It's on at the right time.
Fairly much perfect. It's good enough. There's definitely a signal coming through.
There is, yeah. You can tell it's a signal. I mean, that goes off way before that one. But that could easily be because of interference. Although it's quite persistent when it goes off.
Yeah, I'm wondering if there's a bit of extra data there, you know.
Well, you actually are touching onto the data and it's just...
No, if you look, if you watch closely,
you can see a little blip.
It flickers what goes out.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if there's a little bit of extra data there.
When it's switching to low or something. So it's receiving that as a high. So yeah, our next bit, we printed the data just so we could fine tune like we were saying earlier. Then I've got this delay of like 10 milliseconds. That's just because if you receive data in real time, by the time it's put the LED on, you have like 10, 15 bits of extra data. So it helps us put a little bit of pause, so it gets a bit of data, sees where it is.
I mean, if you could take it out because we're trying to only toggle an LED.
Yeah.
If you're sending a lot of real-time data, obviously
you wouldn't have a delay.
But then you'd want stop-start bits as well.
You want stop-starts, you'd also want...
So you'd have to have some form of hand
parity bytes and stuff, yeah. So yeah, we got that, and then it's just opposite way around for the lower threshold. Goes to low, checks the data, 10 millisecond delay, just so we can make sure that we're not getting too much data, so it's not just going mental. Because the first time we done it, it was just red. It was just flashing, so it was too hard to really tell if it was the right signal.
This was as hard, if not harder, than trying to do those LEDs we were going to be doing.
Oh yeah, we got a. Which was this one? No, it's one by that one there. We got a little RGB board, 8 or 9, 8 RGB LED module.
It's 8 RGB LEDs.
And unfortunately, the one we got, because we were going to do that in this episode, is really dodgy.
Yeah, Guang Chong Dong Dong Dong.
Guang Chong Ding Dong sent us one which is shorted out.
The blue, wasn't it?
Yeah, the blue's always on
LEDs. They're numbered 0 to 7, which is
so
8.
1 to 7 were always on.
Yeah, blue was always on. No matter what you did.
And the first one only worked out a mix of colours. It wouldn't work on green or red. You had to have like blue and red or
you
blue
have
and
to have
green.
2 colours minimum.
You have to have 2 colours, which isn't right. I'm pretty sure we can safely say, no matter what they were talking about, isn't right. So, to your bit.
Yeah, my bit of code's actually very easy. You've only done top. You haven't actually highlighted the top one at all, which is fine.
Because we just
Like
mentioned that.
it's there. It's on the screen. Basically, I just define which is going to transmit pin. We obviously we logged in our own data pin, which is A0.
Normally you don't get that.
And then obviously the data set the data. And the only reason set up serial, the only reason we did this is so I could see what mine was actually pushing out.
So it did help.
Because we didn't know what was going through. I mean, and as it transpired, mine's pushing out up to 948.
948, yeah.
And you're receiving.
I'm receiving. I'm getting roughly about 450, 500.
We did get up 600.
We did get up to 600 one point, and then I touched it and got up to 700.
Yeah, so it doesn't receive what comes out, but we just want to have a look.
It helped to know it was a high number or a low number.
Yeah, so you can have a look. All I did was a very simple loop, well, a double loop, and which is sends out 500 lows and then 500 highs. So it keeps it high, if that thing. So it was high, which technically means it doesn't switch.
It doesn't switch.
It's like a pause, but it keeps it high for the count of 500.
Because we found a small issue in delays on this.
If you do a delay during the pause period, delay pause, I call pause on the old school. From that, what's it called? Pause. It just left yours to pick up spurious rubbish.
Yeah, it didn't keep sending signals.
Some Russian astronaut somewhere has flicked the switch and it's picking it up as extra data or something.
So on that one line where it sends out the data, that is literally, that one line is the only piece of data you receive. So we're sending we're getting like 100 pieces of data somewhere.
Oh no, 500. I did 500.
Right. So we're getting 500 pieces
and then 500 low.
So yeah, 500 pieces of data. And that's just to make this go on for long enough. Otherwise, we would literally have a red light on.
And then the second half of my loop was just obviously the first and second low, then was at high. I don't know why we chose low first. Because we're fiddling around, weren't we? Left it always low at one point,
always high.
And see what's coming through.
We try to work out where roughly the signal should be.
So we thought, right, okay, that's why I put the serial lines on this. Obviously, if anyone else does want to do this, take it out. Improve the aerials
as much as you want.
Yeah, I mean, and then you just do whatever. I mean, I'll take the serial stuff out altogether. If I've got it set up running, I'll just comment those lines out.
Yeah.
So don't need that rubbish.
Definitely rubbish.
Yeah, rubbish. You can pick that up later.
I will
kill you.
I would be killed. But yeah, so that concludes this episode.
Yeah, that was longer than I expected, but
it was. But we got talking.
There's a lot of stuff to go.
There was a lot of stuff to go through in a short period of time.
And obviously, as we demonstrate with your just little touch, it is rubbish. It does die quickly, very quickly.
I mean, we can't even get it to stay on whilst the signal passes through it, although it always fades out before the end.
Yeah.
So, yeah, join us next time when we'll be messing around with some more modules. Or a live, depending on what happens.
To have a look at.
We have quite a few bits to look at. We have a lot to look at, actually, don't we?
Well, we've not got a lot of stuff here yet, but we do have some stuff to look at.
But this is an episode just after our live show, which hasn't come out yet, but will be out. By the time this video is posted, the live show would already be out. But we're waiting. The reason the live show would have been quite gapped from the first 2 episodes being posted up is we're trying to make sure that we get views. We don't want to put up a live show when there's no watching.
You don't let us know you're there. We just follow along.
Yeah.
I mean, we may cancel it if we don't get enough people watching, and then do it at a later stage when someone is. Or why don't we now, because we're still in the dark, plod along, keep doing shows like this until
we get enough.
We get enough, and then we do it live.
Yeah. So
give people a bit of notice, and if they're right, and then next week be live, whatever.
By this time, we might have already done
might
have done one. We might have gone. Well, we've got about 20 views per video. That's 20 people might get involved, might be able to tell their friends, get them involved. So if you're watching this after we post up a live, or you're watching this and we've decided we're not doing lives until we get more people, either way it doesn't make a difference to us.
No.
All it means is putting things together. The crazy combining of things won't happen until later on, and then we'd have a lot of catching up to do.
I mean, yeah, I do like the idea of the combine. I think we should. I'm thinking along the lines of getting enough people involved and then letting them pick which bits we combine. That'd be quite fun.
That would be good.
If it was like, right, well, I want you to put the RF module with, I don't know, your LCD and attach that onto your motion whatever.
Your motion capturing pogo stick.
Yeah, whatever.
Why do you always mention pogo stick at that point?
I've got no idea. But yeah.
So yes, you're either watching this and you either voted for it in our live, or you're watching this and it doesn't make any sense. You haven't seen our format of our live shows, so you don't know what we were talking about. But spoilers, they will be voting in our lives. Do you know that concludes it?
That concludes it, definitely.
So that's a goodbye from me. Oh, first I said goodbye from him, didn't you?
Change it. It's goodbye from me.
It's goodbye from him as well. Right, and we will see you next time once the mouse starts working. Didn't you hate it when mice only work on your top?